Hello, and welcome to Dale Calvert's Streak When You Slump. Dale is a network marketing veteran who's developed organizations of tens of thousands of distributors. During his career, he has helped thousands of networkers out of their business slump with the training you are getting ready to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, Dale Calvert.
Hello, this is Dale Calvert, and if you're listening to this cassette tape, then more than likely your upline has given you this tape because maybe your business has taken a downturn or you've hit a little slump within your network marketing start. And I'm excited about the information that I'm getting ready to share with you on this tape. And first of all, I just want you to understand that hitting a slump, especially within your first 90, 150, 180, 200 days within this business is absolutely predictable. I've seen it happen many, many times over the last 18 years. Everyone has what we call a beginning spurt. That's a concept that we teach. And eventually that beginning spurt with that massive ignorance on fire enthusiasm that you have starts to diminish. Maybe some people didn't get results on your products, or Uncle Harry, who you knew was going to make you $1 million if you could just get him involved in your organization, decided not to join. And for whatever reason, that raw enthusiasm, that I'm going to be a millionaire in 2 weeks mentality starts to diminish, and now you're in a slump. And again, it's very, very predictable. I've seen it happen literally thousands upon thousands of times for the last 18 years. And I can tell you one thing. For me personally, I'm always glad when the slump hits. I sit back and wait for the slump to hit. And to be quite frank, probably your upline is glad that you're there too. Because what I've always found is after the slump hits, then and only then do you really find what you have. Do you have the type of person that you're really looking for? Because up until that point, you can act right, walk right, talk right, say the right things, put the right smile on your face. But what I really want to know is, can you fall and get back up? Zig Ziglar says the only difference between a big shot and a little shot is a big shot is a little shot that kept shooting. I love that quote because it's been proven out to me over and over and over and over again through the past 18 years. Winners stay excited. Anybody can be excited when things are going well, but winners stay excited as long as it takes. And when a person hits a slump and they come out of that slump, then and only then do I know, do I have a chicken or do I have an eagle? Do I have a winner? Do I have a loser? Do I have someone that's got some internal fortitude, determination, vision, and strong, compelling reasons to make their life better and to work through this and persist until they succeed? Starters mean nothing. We're looking for finishers within this industry. You know, a rule that I learned the hard way within this industry is personally I do not get emotionally involved in someone or with someone until they have fallen and gotten back up. Because too many times you get emotionally involved, you create an attachment with people, you start developing a friendship instead of a leadership role with people too soon. And when we start delegating too soon and we start creating a personal friendship with people too soon in this business, many, many times people will fall, they'll quit, and they'll let you down. So I don't get emotionally involved, and we teach our people, don't get emotionally involved with someone until you see if they can fall and get back up. You know, I've seen people over the years have tremendous starts in their business. Some make thousands of dollars their first few months just retailing a hot, sizzling hot product. And for whatever reason, the cares of the world start to weigh on their shoulders a little bit, and they're out of the business within a year. I want you to understand that this cassette is going to be straight to the point. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. But I also want you to know that it's not to put you down in any way, shape, or form. I know mentally how you've ended up in a slump, and I can help you get out of that slump. And so I have to be straightforward with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but I want you to understand there's people in your upline that care about you. There's people within your sidelines I'm sure care about you, and that's why they wanted to get this tape to you, is because they believe in the potential that you have within you. But they're also smart enough to understand that you're the only one that can tap that potential. They're here for you right now trying to help you get out of your slump. That's why they took the time, energy, and effort to pass this tape along to you. And I just hope that somehow I'll be able to communicate on this tape the importance of where you are right now. So many times we get so emotionally involved in this business and the heartaches and the frustrations and the disappointments that we give up on the greatest opportunity in the history of the world, being network marketing in this industry, and we burn out and we give up on our dreams. And I don't want that to happen to you, because I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when you give up on network marketing, you aren't really giving up on the industry. The industry itself is proven. What you're giving up on is yourself. So many people out there have the attitude, if first I don't succeed, fix the blame quick. And they want to blame the company, and they want to blame the products, and they want to blame their upline, downline, their sideline. They want to blame whoever for where they are in their business. And success can never start until responsibility is taken. Success can never start until responsibility is taken. The problem's not your upline. The problem's not your downline. The problem's not the company. It's not the products. The problem is you have not yet developed the skills and, more importantly, the attitude that you need to create long-term, sustained, six-figure income success within this industry. And again, I can help you get out of the state of mind that you're in, but you have to decide, do you want to continue to have a pity party and whine and complain and blame, or do you want to take responsibility? Because if you're willing to take responsibility, I'll share with you how you got to this state, and I'll share with you how to get out. You know, what I found through the years is quitters quit. That's what they're supposed to do. And again, we're so excited right now because we get to find out, do we really have a quitter, or do we have someone that will persist? Activity will create courage in your business. Inactivity creates fear. And I've got some really good news for you. The slump that you're going through right now, you will never, ever have another one as bad as the first one. The first one's always the worst. I remember my first major slump that I had, and I wanted to quit this business so bad. I'd had some initial success, and things were going great, and then one by one things started unraveling and falling apart, and people that I knew would be with me forever started to quit, and just some things started happening. The world started caving in a little bit right in the very beginning, within about 6 months after I joined this industry, got involved in this industry. And finally I had to come to the decision, Dale, what are you going to do if you don't do this business? What are you going to do if you don't do this business? And I had made out 20 reasons that I was doing the business. I made out 20, and I sat down with that sheet, and I went through those 20 reasons. And I said, Dale, others have done this. If others have done it, you can do it. Do you want those reasons bad enough, or do you want to stay in this frustrating, dead-end job for the rest of your life? What do you really want? And I had to come to grips with the fact that, anything worth doing is not going to be easy most of the time. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some dedication. It's going to take some education. Ladies and gentlemen, where can you go in this country and develop a six-figure passive income without first getting an education? Where can you develop a six-figure income? Forget the passive part of it. Where can you go out, and what professions in this country offer a six-figure income? Doctor, lawyer, veterinarian, real estate broker. We can name many professions. But the bottom line is that all those professions require education. The problem is people come into this industry and they try to do it with what they came here with. Did you hear that? They try to do it with the skills and attitudes they came here with, instead of developing and getting the education and developing the skills and attitudes necessary for success within this industry. I don't care how successful you've been in other areas, in other businesses, in other opportunities. Network marketing is totally different. We are in the leadership development business. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how good of a communicator that you are. It doesn't matter how good you are, because if what you're doing cannot be duplicated, then you're out of the program. You will cease to exist within this industry. So there's a lot of concepts that are direct opposite of traditional business within this industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why you're where you are. You only know that. But my job is to do my very best to help you get refocused, get redirected, come out of that slump, and get on with your business and get your thumb out of your mouth and decide once and for all that I'm going to make a solid commitment to this. I'm going to get myself educated because there's no opportunity in the world that can give me the lifestyle and the freedom that is available through this industry. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is get a pen and paper out. Get a pen and paper out. And I want you to write the word slump right down the left-hand side column of the first page. S-L-U-M-P. The S is at the top left-hand corner. The P is at the bottom of the page, the bottom left-hand corner. Slump. We're going to use an acronym for slump. We're going to talk about it. What does the S stand for? The S stands for skepticism. And I can tell you, I've seen it many, many times. People get excited, they've got ignorance on fire, they've got visions of grandeur, and all of a sudden, what starts a slump? The thing that starts a slump is skepticism. It's maybe it's not going to work for me. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, in this business, there's 4 beliefs that must be developed. 4 key beliefs. The first was in the product or the service that you market. The second was within the company. The third is within the industry and the validity of this industry. And the fourth is within yourself. Those are the 4 beliefs. And until you develop beliefs in those 4 key areas, you cannot create long-term sustained success. If we think about this, in this country, most people have less than 10 true beliefs in their life. We're all made up of opinions, attitudes, and beliefs. And I don't have time. This is a completely different training on opinions, attitudes, and beliefs. But to simplify this, we all have a lot of opinions. We have opinions about everything. We have opinions about things we don't even need to have an opinion about because we don't know anything about it. An attitude is a much stronger mental frame of mind. An attitude is much stronger than opinion. When you have an attitude about something, you're pretty convicted about it. But a belief is much, much stronger than an attitude. When you believe, it doesn't matter who says what about anything, you know what you know, what you know. And I am telling you, I'm trying to communicate that to be successful in this industry, you must have a total 100% belief in yourself, the company, the product, and the industry itself. If you have a negative link, it's going to affect the other 3 areas. When you have true belief, it doesn't matter what negative is thrown your way. It's like lint on your jacket. You just wipe it off. Lint on your jacket. It doesn't matter. So you must have a belief in your company. Look at the company history. Look at the company founders. Understand your company. Go do a home office tour if you need to, but you need to get real about the company itself. How long have they been in business? Are they a member of the Direct Sales Association? You need to take some time and really investigate the people behind the company, your product. Unfortunately, there's a lot of products within this industry that are junk. They're junk. But there's a lot of great, great companies out there with great products that add value to your fellow man. And so you have to become real about your products. If you don't have a product that you would be using, regardless if there was an opportunity behind it, then you need a new product line. You need a new product line. So you must have belief in the company. You must have belief in the products. You know, I'm amazed that people can go out and it's with a weight loss product and they can market that product to, say, 12 people and 10 people love the product and they get results and they're feeling better. Maybe they have some health benefits that they're receiving from the product as well as some inch and fat loss. And 2 people don't like the product or didn't get any results or only took half a bottle or whatever. And it's amazing how the masses of people will focus on the 2 that hate it instead of the 10 that they've been able to touch their lives with that particular product. It's amazing as human beings how we will always focus towards the negative. Have you been doing that? Have you been doing that? Does your company have testimony audio cassettes or video cassettes? If they do, go back through, listen to the audio tapes. Listen to the tapes. Understand the testimonies. Get real with what this product or your product line is doing for other people. So you must develop a true belief in the company, the product, the industry, network marketing. If you've not read Who Stole the American Dream by Burke Hedges, it's an awesome book. Wave 3, now out is Wave 4, just came out. But there's a lot of great books that talk about the validity of this industry. My favorite up to this point is Who Stole the American Dream by Burke Hedges. That particular book is available on our website at www.mlmhelp.com. But there's many great books out there about this industry, the validity of this industry, and where this industry is going and the future of this industry. Another great book by Burke Hedges is also dreambiz.com, which talks about the combining of network marketing with the internet and the future that's going to mean for all of us. So again, who's responsible? This is a key question. Who's responsible for you developing belief in the company that you work with, the products that you market, the industry that you're involved in, and yourself? Who's responsible for that? Is that your upline's responsibility? Is that your sideline? Is that your company's? No. The resources are out there for you to get yourself educated and develop those 4 beliefs. They are out there, but you must take the time to read the resources, to attend the training classes, and to do your part. To do your part. The only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. And if I'm going to be a veterinarian, I better go to class and I better get myself educated, and it's the same here. Somehow people think that this is a magic lamp and you rub it and all of a sudden dollar bills start coming out of it. It's not the way it works. This is a business. You must treat it with sound business principles, philosophies, and concepts. It's the same here as it is in the real world. The only difference here is once you develop that 6-figure income, it can be passive, and it can be passed down to your children and your grandchildren, and you can really build something for life. And this is the only industry that can give you the freedom and the lifestyle along with the income, and it is worth it. But it's not going to be simple, and it's not going to be easy, and it's not supposed to be, because if it was, everybody would be doing it, and everybody would be filthy rich and financially independent, and there'd be no opportunity left for you. There'd be no opportunity left for those that have the ability to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and get out of the slump. See, the slump separates the winners from the losers. The slump is the determining factor of who makes it and who doesn't make it. We all, every successful person in your company, I promise you, have had downtimes, have been through the slump. I promise you their first 90 days wasn't a bed of roses. Just the way it is. We're in the real world, ladies and gentlemen. And the last thing that you must develop belief is in yourself. Yourself. And you might need to get yourself on a very strong personal development program. You might need to read The Magic of Thinking Big. Awesome book. Awesome book. There's a lot of good books out there that, walk into your local bookstore and look in the self-development section of the bookstore. Read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, the classic. You might need to start believing in yourself a little bit more, because if you don't believe in yourself, then nobody else will. So you got skeptical. You got skeptical normally within one of those 4 areas, either the company, the product, the industry, or in your ability to do it. And again, you're responsible for getting over that skepticism. The L in the word slump stands for lazy. So after we get skeptical, what we do is quit doing what we were doing to create the results that we were creating. That's what happens. We get lazy. We quit going to our opportunity meetings, our training sessions. We quit calling our upline or our downline. We quit getting products retail into the marketplace. We quit talking to people. We quit doing our mailings or whatever we were doing that created our initial success. We quit doing it. We become lazy. We don't follow up with people as we should. And we start spending more time in front of the TV or the electronic income reducer, as I like to call it, the idiot box. And we start escaping at night instead of getting on the phone, getting in front of people, getting on the internet and telling our story. We quit doing what we were doing to become successful in the beginning. We become lazy. Why? Because we're skeptical. What I love about this business is every day it gives you the opportunity to wake up tomorrow and do it right. To do it right. After we become skeptical, lazy, then we become undecided. We think, well, maybe we won't want to do this business. Excuse-itis sits in. And you call your upline or you call your sideline or you call your upline leader and you say, I'm just not going to have as much time as I thought I was going to have. They got me working a lot of overtime now. And, by the time I get home at night, I've got to spend some time with the kids. And, that training session is every Monday night, and I bowl on Monday night. And the conference call was on Thursday night, and every Thursday night, me and the wife like to get together with some of the neighbors and play cards. We do that every Thursday night, and I haven't been able to play cards with the neighbors because I've been on that conference call, and you just hear the thorns of the world just stifling these people, just crushing these people. It's unbelievable. My job, Dale, they've told me, Dale, my job's not as bad. My boss is easing up on me a little bit, and he gave me a 20-cent an hour raise. 20 cents an hour raise? You're kidding me, right? That's going to develop freedom and financial independence and something that you can be proud to pass down to your children. Come on. Give me a break. Give me a break. Bowling, knitting class, the lake, fishing, golf has prevented more people from becoming financially independent than I can imagine. I remember one of my top distributors told me when he first started, he said, Dale, the meeting is on Monday night, and that's my bowling league night. And I told him, I said, you give this thing 5 long, hard years doing it right, and you can buy the daggone bowling alley if you want to, and bowl every night for the rest of your life. It's just a matter of what do you want? What do you want? But you get undecided. Your job's not too bad. And I love what Helen Keller said. Life is to be lived as a magnificent adventure, or not at all. Life is to be lived as a magnificent adventure, or not at all. So it's so easy to get sucked back into that comfort zone, to fall back into that routine, day in, day out, building somebody else's dream. Then what happens is we become misdirected. The M in slump stands for misdirected, and what we do is we start hanging around other people that are negative and misdirected, and we start thinking, well, maybe I could just set up a booth and sell tools or candles at the flea market to make some extra money. Or I might jump in this other program, maybe it's the company's fault, so I'm going to get involved in another company. Or have you heard about this new hot product? It's the product's fault, because of course it's not my fault. And we start looking for programs or products or a new upline to make us successful. And we start chasing the dollar. And I can tell you in this business, as long as you chase the dollar, you'll never have the dollar. Because money will flow to you when you develop the skills and attitudes of a professional within this industry. You develop yourself first, the money flows. Most people try to chase the dollar. That's why they never get the dollar. If you stop and become a professional first, then you get paid and the money will flow. I have a friend in Atlanta that spent 9 or 10 years in med school. He had to get the education first. He had to become the type of person first. He had to develop the skills necessary first. Then the money flows after he graduates, after the education. Network marketing is no different long term. And finally, the P in slump is you develop a poor attitude. And unfortunately for many people, once their attitude gets bad enough and poor enough, there's nothing or nobody else that can help them. And I hope that most of you listening to this tape aren't to that point yet. Maybe you're a little skeptical. Maybe you have been a little lazy, and maybe you've been a little undecided about your future. But I hope your attitude's not stinking. I hope your attitude's not stinking, and it's probably not, because if it is, you probably, first of all, would have never popped the tape in to listen to it, and second of all, you probably wouldn't have gotten this far if you develop a poor attitude or an attitude that was beyond repair. I really hope that you aren't there yet. If you're in a slump, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that that's okay. We all go through it. We all go through it. Don't beat yourself up yet. All it means is your beliefs are not developed yet. That's all it means. Don't beat yourself up because you're in a slump. We all get there. We all go through it. Every successful person in this industry has gone through the slump. So don't beat yourself up. Don't avoid your upline. Cling to your upline. Contact your upline. Communicate with your upline. What you've got to do is you've got to go back. And you've got to say, okay, I tried to do this with the skills and attitudes that I came here with. I understand that. And I'm ready to develop the skills and attitudes of a professional within this industry. And you find the person in your upline who's been able to duplicate their success. Not who's been able to create it, but who's been able to duplicate it. That's such an important point, ladies and gentlemen, that you find the right mentor. And the right mentor is not maybe the richest person in your upline. The right mentor is that person who's been able to duplicate her success through her downline organization. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the upline who's been able to duplicate themselves and create success for other people, not just the person that's been able to create success for themselves. Critical point. There's several newsletters that are in our archives at www.mlmhelp.com that talk about this concept. And again, I don't have time on this tape to go into that, but you find the right upline. If your company has an audio cassette tape of the month program, you get on that. If they're having a national conference call, you get on that conference call. If they do national conferences, training conferences, 3- and 4-day events, I don't care where it is in this country, start saving your money now, get to the national conference. Critical. If they have a voicemail system set up through your company where you can get daily announcements and updates from your corporate office, join that system. If they have a satellite training program, get on the satellite training program. Your job right now is to get yourself educated. The beautiful thing about this industry, it's one of the only professions where you can actually earn while you learn. You can make money while you're getting your education. Now we're going to talk about how to get out of the slump. Again, how did I get in it, Dale? Well, look at your notes there. You got skeptical, you got lazy, you became undecided, you became misdirected, and hopefully, but the next step is developing a poor attitude, and hopefully you aren't at that point yet. That's how it happens. I've seen it happen many, many times for many, many years. Skeptical, lazy, undecided, misdirected, and develop a poor attitude. Okay, Dale, I'm there. So what I have to do? I want out of it. What you're saying makes sense, Dale, because I know that my JOB and my BOSS will not create financial independence for myself and my family. I know the type of lifestyle that some of the people in our company experience on a daily basis. The passion that they live with, and that's what I want. I want to help my fellow man and woman. I want to help family members and people that I care about. And I want to be able to have the extra money to be able to support worthy causes like Big Brothers and Big Sisters, or donate money for my church when they need to buy a church van to pick up, to go around the neighborhood and pick up underprivileged children, or whatever. Whatever's your passion, whatever your reasons are for doing this business. I want that, Dale, and I know it's done it for others, and I know it can do it for me. And you're right, my self-talk has been stinking. I've been looking at all the negatives and none of the positives, and I want out of this slump. What I need to do. First thing that you've got to do to get out of the slump is as simple as this. You streak. You streak when you slump. Dale, what are you talking about, streak? I'm not talking about the old Ray Stevens song of the 70s. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about streak. Streak stands for the S. Write this down. S is set goes. Success starts sometimes with disgust. Every successful person in this industry had strong, compelling reasons that were driving them. Period. A lot of you are too comfortable to become successful. You're too satisfied. You must become thankful but ambitious, and that's a weird combination. You must learn how to be thankful for what you have, thankful for the good things in life, thankful for your family, and appreciative of people. But at the same time, you must be very, very driven. You must have strong, compelling reasons that are driving you. And those reasons don't have to be for you. They can be for somebody else. But you better have the reasons. It may be to secure the retirement capabilities of your parents, or maybe the college education of your children. Or it might just be that you're just disgusted with the old car that you're driving, not being able to afford your home. or not be able to afford a new home, no college fund for your kids, the way your employer treats you and the disrespect that you receive. I don't know what it is for you. I just know that you have to have something that's driving you daily. Daily. True motivation must come from within, and there's got to be a burn inside you that says, daggone it, this is not the practice session, this is my life, and I'm ready to get on with it. You must again learn to be ambitious, and you must couple that with thankfulness, happiness, and contentment. You know, money, ladies and gentlemen, is not the answer. Money creates lifestyle. You know, a lot of people say, well, I've told me, well, Dale, the Bible says that money is the root of all evil. And I've said, no, it doesn't. That's not what the Bible says. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money. And I agree with that statement. But money will only make you more of what you already are. If you're a giving person, you'll be able to give even more once you have the money. So what you need to do is you need to understand that right now, for the last few weeks, you're either focusing on the work and the frustrations that the work creates, or you're focusing on your reasons for doing the business. Now I want to back up because this is an important point. You've either been focusing on the work and the frustrations that the work creates, or you've been focusing on your reasons for doing the business. Now what have you been focusing on? I can tell you, you've been focusing on the work. Because if you're focusing on the reasons, those compelling reasons for you to do the business, then you wouldn't be in a slump in the first place. It's that simple. Your mind cannot hold two dominant thoughts. Your mind cannot hold two dominant thoughts. So if your dominant thought has been on your reasons for doing this business, then you would not have been focusing on the frustrations that the work creates. Does that make sense? Your mind cannot hold two dominant thoughts. If I say pink elephant, pink elephant, pink elephant, then you're thinking about a pink elephant. Pink elephant, pink elephant, pink elephant. You're thinking about a pink elephant. You can't get that out of your mind. And if I say don't think about a pink elephant, guess what you're still thinking about? A pink elephant. So in this business, if you're thinking about the frustration or the people that quit, are you thinking about the new people you're going to sponsor, the new people you're going to sponsor? Your mind cannot hold more than one dominant thought. Pink elephant. It's there. And I hate to have to do that to you, but it drives the point home. And I'm telling you, once you control your thoughts and focus on what you want and not what you don't want, you got to learn to focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Most people spend all their mental energy on what they don't want, not on what they want. And your mind cannot work towards the reverse of an idea. In other words, you cannot work to get out of your job because all you're thinking about is getting out of your job. You cannot work to get out of your job. You got to work towards what you want. And if you're thinking, get out of my job, that's not going to do it. If you need $7,000 a month from your home-based business, network marketing business, in order to quit your job and go full-time, then you need to work towards $7,000 a month. That's very positive. Working to get out of this lousy job is not very positive. So you need to work towards what you want, which is $7,000 a month. And again, this is a whole nother training. But I hope you understand what I'm saying. You've got to set goals. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't written down your top 3 reasons for working your network marketing business, then no wonder you're in a slump. And it's time to do that. There's no use going any further on this tape. Turn it off. Take some time. Sit down with your spouse and say, okay, we're in a slump. We're coming out of the slump. What do we specifically want from this business? And you write it down, and you put it on your bathroom mirror, and you put it in your car, and you do all the hokey things that you thought were ignorant maybe in the past, and you do it. You do it because I'm telling you it's going to make a tremendous, tremendous difference. Our mind thinks in pictures. What we think about comes about. Get $7,000 check and stick it on your bathroom mirror. You know, when you get that lousy little bonus check this month, take the $7,000 check, get some white out, make a copy and stick it up on your mirror. And right under that, then stick a check that you can believe. If your check was $1,000 last month, put a $1,400 check up there. And once it gets to $1,400, put a $2,000. And once it gets to $2,000, put $2,500. And so on and so forth, all the way to the $7,000. Once you get to about $6,000, $6,500, then put a $9,000 check there, because nobody does the top all the time. You have to keep raising the bar. And again, that's another training in itself. But I'm saying what you picture in your mind is what you create in reality. And if you do not know why you're doing this business, then no wonder you're in a slump. So the S in streak is set goes. The T stands for train yourself. What exactly do you say? I believe very much in scripts and unified systems, and any of you that have heard any of my material in the past or read anything that I've written, you know that I am a strong believer in the cookie cutter McDonald's type theory when it comes to this business. I think we need to train people and train them well on what to say, when to say it, how to say it, and to say it with their own personality and emotion and conviction. But it has to be well thought out. And I believe that's our responsibility as leaders, to teach people specifics and not generalities. And I believe very strongly in that. So you must train yourself. Find the upline who has trained the most successful leaders and follow their system. That's what you have to do. Train yourself. The next thing, the R in streak, stands for recommit. You got to recommit. You got to recommit. If I walked up to you on the street and I said, "Hey, how are you doing? Good to hear from you. It's been a while. How long have you committed to your network marketing business?" And if you can't say, "Dale, I've committed for 6 months," if it's not right there on the tip of your tongue, "I've made a 6-month commitment to this business. I'm not stopping. I'm not analyzing. I'm just going to get educated. I'm going to learn from a good upline, and I'm going to do all I can do for 6 months. I'm not going to stop and analyze." See, in the beginning, when you got started, you were just blowing and going, talking to everybody, fired up and excited. And then after a few setbacks, you started analyzing every day, analyzing your business, analyzing your distributors, analyzing. And what happens is people get to a point where they analyze till they're paralyzed. You've got to make a solid commitment not to analyze, and I recommend at least a year, that I'm going to give this business all I've got for 1 year. I'm going to work 10, 15, 20 hours a week, whatever time that you've allotted, and I'm going to give it all I can give it, and then I'm not going to analyze. I'm not going to worry, because I know it's all numbers. I know I'm just looking for the right people at the right time in their life, and I'm going to go for it. I'm not going to turn around and analyze every other day. I am going to make a commitment, and you need to sit down with your spouse, and you need to look at and evaluate your situation and what this business offers and the lifestyle, and you've got to make a solid commitment. Let's commit. Let's apply ourselves. You must do that. You know, it's like the breakfast, the ham and egg breakfast. The ham and egg breakfast. The hen was involved, but the pig was committed. And that's the way this business has to be. So many of you are trying to swim with just your big toe in the water. Well, you're never going to learn to swim until you get your whole body in the water. You got to make a commitment. You got to jump in the pool, ladies and gentlemen. Putting your big toe in this business is not going to create success. So many people, they come and they play around with it. If I could just get Uncle Joe in, then I'd really get committed. I'd get on the company voicemail system. I might even go to one of those national training meetings you've talked about. If I could just get Uncle Joe and Harry. Harry would be good too. And I keep talking to Harry, but Harry just doesn't want to hear about it. But if I get 2 or 3 people in this business, then I would really get committed. I would do everything that you tell me to do, but I'm not going to do it until I know that I'm going to be successful. That's like saying, "Stove, give me heat, and you never put any wood in it. I wouldn't get involved if I was your Uncle Harry, because you aren't committed, and I'm not going to follow anybody that's not turned on, focused, dedicated, and fired up about their future. I'm not interested in joining somebody that's trying to talk me into getting in a business to make them rich. And neither is anybody else. When you get committed, dedicated, turned on, then people will follow you once you decide where you're going. So the next thing that you need to do is recommit. The third thing is you got to get enthusiastic about it. 3 stands for enthusiasm. Excitement and enthusiasm. You know, you need to read The Magic of Thinking Big and read that concept in that book about the 30-second commercial, and write out that 30-second commercial and read it to yourself twice a day. Dale, why? Because it works. You know, I have found that the only way to build this business is mad or excited. And it's a whole lot easier to do it fast than it is to do it slow. A lot of you are taking little baby steps at this business, just kind of, again, with your big toe in it. You know, you're trying to take a pinto to the top. old Ford Pinto run down with one flat tire. You're trying to take that to the top in your program. Well, why not jump in a Dodge Viper and fire that thing up 500 horsepower and take that to the top? Why not? You got to be excited about what you're doing and where you're going. W. Clement Stone, those of you that have read some of his books, his phrase that he's coined is, to be enthusiastic, you must act enthusiastic. To be enthusiastic, you must act enthusiastic. To be enthusiastic, you must act enthusiastic. And there's many times I've gotten up in the morning and told myself that over and over and over. Say, Dale, why? Because it works. Because it works. Ignorance on fire. Ignorance. Ignorant about what you're doing. But ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. I've seen so many people come in this business, and just because of their excitement, they don't have a clue what they're doing, but they enter this industry and their business explodes because they're so excited about what they're doing. Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. To be enthusiastic, you must act enthusiastic. So if you're going to get out of this slump, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to have reasons for doing it. You've got to make a solid commitment, and I recommend at least 1 year. You've got to get your enthusiasm back. Visit what got you excited in the beginning. Go back and watch that videotape. Go back and talk to that upline that did the three-way, and tell that person, say, look, you got to sell me one more time. You'll never have to sell me again, but sell me one more time. And then A stands for attitude and action. You got to start telling yourself the right things. An excellent book that I highly recommend is What Do You Say When You Talk to Yourself? What do you say when you talk to yourself? Because I can promise you this, your self-talk is what puts you in the slump, and your self-talk is what's going to get you out of the slump. You've got to get your phone ringing, people wanting to know about your business, wanting to know about your products. You've got to get with an upline and say, what is an ad I can run to create some product sales, to create some excitement in my group? And you've got to get your phone ringing again. You've got to get the literature out there. You've got to maybe recontact your original 50 warm market people and let them know what some updates and announcements and new information on what's happening in your business. You've got to get your attitude right and get into action, massive action immediately. We always can make up in numbers in the beginning what we lack in skill. And the K stands for just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. All you need are 5 key people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired, that want to control their own destiny to make more money in this industry than anything else out there, and more importantly, give you the lifestyle that's available. You're in the right trends. We got home-based business trends happening in this country right now. The internet, network marketing, all of this has become viable options. It's going to continue to grow. People are more and more open to working for themselves and not turning their future over to the corporate structure. Just get out there and do the basics day after day after day. Keep it simple. Don't get elaborate. Quit trying to strike a deal with some major corporation that's going to be a quick hit for you. I've seen dozens of them trying to be created over the last 18 years. I've never seen one that works. Try to strike a deal with the railroad or with a hotel chain or whatever. Just do the basics, person to person, people to people, talk to people, love people, be value focused, find out where they are in their life, what they want. Can our products help? Can your opportunity help? I'm excited for you, because I know those of you that will take this information seriously and will take responsibility and follow this formula that I've shared with you, that you'll take some time with your spouse and you'll write out at least your top 3 reasons, if not 20, but at least your top 3, that you'll decide to train yourself following the direction of the most successful upline that you have, that you will recommit yourself to a specified period of time, that you will get your attitude under control with your self-talk and take some massive action. Keep it simple. I know that you're going to come out of this slump. And what I'm really excited about is you're going to have downline members. Again, this is predictable, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody has a beginning spurt, then they hit a slump. And when your downline members hit that slump, you can hand them this tape. And you'll say, I've been there. I know what you're going through. This is how I got out of it, and this is how you can get out of it. You can hand them this audio tape and say, this is what got me out. And I want to tell you, and write this down, bold, black letters, write this down. The name of the game in network marketing is not sponsoring people. It's keeping people. It's keeping them in long enough to develop those 4 beliefs. I'll tell you what, the best sponsors that I've ever seen in this industry are absolutely, without question, the worst in the world at retention, because all they can do is get them in. But if you can't keep them in once they come in, if you can't help people to get them to a point of no return where they've got those 4 beliefs and they're committed and they're loyal and they're dedicated, then you're wasting your time sponsoring them in the first place. If you don't have a program such as this tape to keep them in, then what good is bringing them in? Because all of them are going to get to a point where they hit a slump after their beginning spurt. And if you don't know what to do with them at that point, and I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, be thankful that you've got a great upline that handed you this tape, because they're smart and they know what they're doing. Because, again, the name of the game is keeping them in. And why I'm so excited for you is, again, there'll be no slump ever as bad as your first one. I have given you the formula to come out of the slump, and more importantly, you will know how to help your other people, your distributors, come out of their slump. That's why I'm excited for you. You know, we all go through it. We all go through it. And it's just part of this business. And again, it's what separates the ones that really get on with it and the ones that want to quit and blame other people. I want to share with you a couple things, and then we're going to end up here. And again, I hope you've taken this message in the spirit in which it has been intended. You know, I'm not trying to put anybody down or belittle anybody in any way. I know where you are, but I know sometimes, as you know, Dr. James Dobson says in his book, love must be tough. And you know, I also know that most people will spend more time planning one summer's vacation than they do the course of their entire life. And you know, sometimes we just have to be jarred, and it's because it's so easy to return to that comfort zone, where it's safe and secure. At least we think it is. And I also know that there's reasons that you join your company. And I hope that you won't give up on those reasons. You know, don't give up on yourself. Growth only comes, personal growth only comes when you're uncomfortable. If you're comfortable, you aren't growing. So don't quit. You know, rest if you have to, but just don't quit. I'm going to share with you a couple of things. And some of you may have seen this, but it's worth repeating. It's called Portrait of an Achiever. This particular person failed in business and actually went bankrupt in 1831. In 1832, he was defeated for the legislature. He failed in business again in 1834. In 1835, his fiancée died, which created a nervous breakdown in 1836. He was defeated in an election in 1838. He was defeated for Congress 8 years later in 1846. Then again in 1848. 7 years after that, he was defeated for the U.S. Senate. That was in 1855. In 1856, the next year, he was defeated in a bid for vice president. 2 years later, he was again defeated in 1858 for the Senate. And finally, in 1860, he was elected President of the United States. That's Abraham Lincoln. You know, the only way you lose, the only way you fail in this industry is if you quit. I'll share with you another poem. This also came from www.mlmhelp.com. We have a lot of these type motivational quotes and poems on that particular site. But it's entitled Don't Quit. It says, when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, when you want to smile but you have to sigh, when cares are pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't quit. Life is strange with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about when he might have won if he just stuck it out. Don't you give up. Though the pace seems slow, you might succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it ever seems to a faint and faltering man. Often the struggle has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late, with a groan and a frown, how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the cloud of doubt. You never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worst that you must not quit. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, last thing I want to share with you, it's called You Can Be Whatever You Want to Be. And I guess from my personal experience and what this industry has meant to me in my life and my family over the last 18 years, if there's anybody that should have never made it in this industry, I think it would be me, without question. I should have never made it. There's not one of you listen to my voice right now that I don't believe that if you decide to do this business that you can't do it. Success is 95% determination and persistence and 5% knowledge. But you got to have that determination not to quit. And if you do, I truly believe that this industry can give you whatever you want, and you can be whatever you want to be. This says there is inside of you all the potential to be whatever you want to be, all the energy to do whatever you want to do. Imagine yourself as you would like to be, doing what you want to do each day, taking one step toward your dream. And though at times it may seem too difficult to continue, hold on to your dream. One morning, you will awake to find that you are the person you dreamed of, doing what you wanted to do, simply because you had the courage to believe in your potential and to hold on to your dream. You know, that's truly my hope and prayer for each one of you, is that you don't give up on your opportunity. I heard a quote one time that says, hell starts when the person you are meets the person you could have become. You got to persist. You got to make up your mind that I want this. I want this business. I want what this business can provide for me and my family. I am above average. I'm not the average person out there that when just a little roadblock is set up that I can't get around it. I'm going to go through the daggone roadblock. I'm going to be an exception. I'm going to decide to be the eagle, to be the winner. I'm going to show people, maybe for the first time in my life, I'm going to show people that they can't keep me down. They might knock me down temporarily, but I'm going to be just like Zig Ziglar. I'm going to keep shooting. The only difference between a big shot and a little shot is a big shot is a little shot that kept shooting, and I'm going to keep shooting. That's my sincere hope for each and every one of you. I hope you've enjoyed this tape. I hope I've been able to communicate well enough where you will internalize it, let it touch you, let the information move you to action, because that's what it's all about. Moving you to action, moving you to a decision, deciding once and for all to make a recommitment, to set some new goals, to train yourself, to recommit, to get that excitement, enthusiasm back, create that great attitude every day, and to keep it simple and just keep doing the basics over and over and over. I thank you for listening. I look forward to hearing about your success in about a year or so from now. If you need to contact me, again, I'm available at Dale Calvert at www.mlmhelp.com. I'd love to hear your success story and how this cassette tape has helped you. Again, we appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen, and look forward to having the opportunity maybe to shake your hand sometime in the near future. Have a great day. Persist, and you will succeed.